Welcome back to another edition of Kickin' It with Bama Notaries. Today, my guest will be Mrs. Tomica Harris, a notary who is also a group expert in my Facebook group called Notaries for Alabama Hangout. I'll be asking her some questions about her notary journey. Stick around, I think you'll enjoy this. One. Hey, Tomica, how are you?
Hey Michelle, I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing good. I know you are a busy woman, so I really appreciate you taking some time to speak with me today.
Oh,
Um,
you're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you. Tamika, if you don't mind, do a introduction. Let those who are watching the video know who you are, what county you are in, and
Mhm.
anything else you want to share.
So I'm Tomica Harris, owner of 4T Harris Mobile Notary here in Montgomery, Alabama. Mom, wife, three girls, one I can't say. He's a bouncy, beautiful, busy grandson. Um, and I just work. That's it. And take care of the
Wonderful.
family.
And Tamika, how did you even get started as a notary? What did someone introduce you to this? Did you find it on your own or what?
I worked in the health field, so I worked in two of the poorest counties in the state of Alabama. And I noticed that they didn't have access to a notary. I would have patients who needed stuff done and they just did not know how to go and get it done. So I was like, well, maybe if I could become a notary, I could come down here on the weekends and provide this service to them, so that they wouldn't have to worry about how we're gonna get it done. So I kept putting it off. I kept researching how to be a notary, what a notary did, and I met my now husband, and I kept telling him about it. And so it was during COVID, and he was like, "So what's your holdup?" And I was like, "Well, I'll just wait until we get married because I'm going to change my name anyway." We got married during COVID, changed my name, and then after that, he said, "So what's the holdup now?" And I was like, well, excuse me. And so that's kind of my husband pushed me to go ahead and do it and stop sitting there. So now I go down to a couple of the smaller counties on the weekends and provide notary services to them. And that's how I got started.
Excellent. And I think you are in your second term. Is that correct?
Correct, correct.
All right. And you've been a active member of my Facebook group called Notaries for Alabama Hangout.
Yeah.
How has that helped or hurt or yeah, what are your thoughts about being in a Facebook group, any type of Facebook group for notaries? How important is that?
As somebody who is, I do social media, but I'm kind of fearful of it. But as a new notary, it definitely helped me because I got to see real time issues, what they were talking about, what consistently kept coming up that was an issue, what to expect when I got out in the field on my own, and just being able to reach out to somebody who knew, like you, what to do and if I got caught up in anything. So that definitely helped me as a new notary.
Good. Yeah, I appreciate because now you are in the place where you're able to help answer
Mhm.
questions that we get in the Facebook group. And I really appreciate you stepping up to do that. We have over 1,600 members in the Facebook group. And,
Mhm.
those questions can be coming in fast and furious.
Yes. And then it's sometimes people need an immediate answer. So I'm like, okay, I think Michelle's at work right now. Let me go ahead and kind of answer this and get it out the way.
Thank you so
So,
much. Think back to some of your first notarizations. Are any of them memorable? Was it difficult or scary or what stands out to you?
my first notarization was horrible. I got cursed out so bad. I
What
got cursed
happened?
out so bad. A guy was doing a quit claim deed. from Georgia. So the property was over in Georgia. He was doing a quick claim deed. He wanted his sister, it was a family property. He wanted her to sign her share over to the rest of the family. So the notary certificate had Georgia. And I told him I need to one line strike through and fix this. He did not like that. He cursed me out so bad, snatched that paper out my hand, and I was just like, and as a brand new notary, this is my very first appointment. I'm like, am I doing this wrong? Like, am I not supposed to do this? The way he's acting, like this is maybe I'm doing this wrong. But no, I was right, and he did not like it at all. So needless to say, it did not go well. It did not go well at all.
You know what? And you know now probably what was behind that.
Of course, of course. And she was reluctant to sign anyway. But when I needed to change it, I'm like, why is he acting like this? Like, am I wrong? So yeah, that was my very first one. It was
Wow. And
horrible.
you know what, Tamika, that goes to show you how important training is.
Hmm.
Because when you know what you're doing,
Hmm.
even when the customer doesn't like it, you can protect yourself
Right.
from doing something that could be considered fraudulent or incorrect
Hmm.
or illegal on your part.
Right, right.
Wow, that was
Yeah, it
a
was bad.
rude introduction to being a notary. Now, how often has a customer flown off the handle with you? Does that happen a lot for you or not really?
Pretty good at it now, so I can kind of gauge whether or not it's going to be an issue. But I typically don't have that problem unless it's somebody who's trying to do something they don't have any business doing. I
There you
had
go.
one at the gas station the other day that I met, and he didn't have a valid ID, but he had it on his phone. And I told him like I can't do that, and he's like, "Well, I'll give you an extra $200-300." And I'm like,
No,
"No, that's not worth that bond, and I'm gonna have to cash in to get out of trouble." Like, so he did not like it. Of course, I was all kinds of bad words. So all you're doing is you're just a little notary anyway. It don't matter. Nobody cares. If don't nobody care, why are you acting like this?
thank you.
so so it doesn't happen often, but when it's somebody who's doing something that they don't need to be doing and I'm not going along with it, then it's a problem.
That is so true. And again, in some states, I think their notaries may be able to accept an electronic ID, but as you know, Alabama isn't there yet.
No,
And
no.
I would have declined it as well.
It wasn't even on his phone. It was on the girl he was with's phone.
No.
So it was just all bad. It was
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
bad.
Too many red flags for
Right. It
you.
was just all bad.
Now, Tamika, I know that you've taken some of my training courses. The ones I remember you in was Notary Basics, training
Mhm,
for Alabama notaries. I know you took the marriage certificate
mhm,
training,
mhm.
but I don't mind at all. Is there any other training out there for Alabama notaries that you'd like to mention or recommend?
Honestly, I learned from YouTube University, and I want to say be cautious with what I just said because that doesn't work for everybody. You can't take every piece of information, as you know, because laws vary from state to state. So what I did was, like I said, I did it during COVID, so I had a lot of downtime. I went online and I kind of just saw what everybody had to offer because everybody has a YouTube page that offers some kind of information. But I took what I could for my state in particular. Once I got those words from them, I went to my Secretary of State's website. I made sure that I looked up Alabama law just to verify, hey, what they said is true. And I kind of pieced it together like that. I refused to pay for training like that online. No, I'm not paying thousands of dollars for training. That's just not something I'm going to do.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't think it's necessary
No,
to
no.
fork out that much money for notary training.
Hmm.
Now, the two examples, appointment examples you shared, fall in the category of general notary work. You
Hmm.
didn't have to sign up with any company to get, I take it those customers came directly to you. They
Correct.
found you, correct?
Correct.
Um, do you do notary signing agent work too, or do you mainly focus on general
No,
notary?
I offer notary signing work, and I started out like everybody else with the signing services. I did not take the advice to sign up with as many companies as possible. I did not do that. I signed up
You
with
didn't
three of
sign
them.
up for it with 100
I did
signing
not. I
services?
did not. I can't keep up with two passwords, let alone 100. No, ma'am. I did not. So I signed up with three of those, proved myself to those. And once I got the experience, I went direct because I realized the middleman was not working for me. It wasn't worth the money for me to use a signing service. So I went direct, started locally first, marketing to my real estate attorneys, builders, contractors, attorneys, just marketing around here first. And then once I got my feet wet here, I built my Google page, my Google business page, and I get a lot of phone calls from out of state mortgage companies, title companies to rent out refis, sellers, buyers packages. So I do notary signing agent work as well.
Wonderful. I know I appreciate, I was in a bind once not too long ago, and you helped me out with an apostille request. I really appreciate what you did for me. And you know what you're doing with that. Um, do you recommend that apostille work for other notaries? And if so, yeah, what advice can you give a new notary about doing apostilles?
Um, I think I'm at an advantage because I live here in the capital city. So I know how important those documents are. I know how time sensitive they are. Once I get your document in my hand, I'm taking it over there. I don't live far from the Secretary of State's office. So I take it right over there and try to get it right back to you. So I think I'm at an advantage in that point. Um, I guess that work can be rewarding for people if that's what you want to offer. But don't think that you're supposed to take one document and charge $500 for it. Because that has also been something that I've seen recently. When I've gotten phone calls about apostle work, people will call me and say, "Hey, I got you off your Google business page. I called somebody else and they said $500." And I'm like, $500 for what? So I think we need to start being a little fair if we're going to offer apostle services. I mean, it's not like you're taking the document and authenticating it yourself. You're handing it to somebody else. So
Mm,
I think if you're going to do it, just be fair about it if you're going to do it.
yes, that's good advice. And Tamika, what about notaries who have their commission, but they haven't done anything with it yet? They seem to be frozen in one place. Any advice about what they should do or can do to get started?
Training. Let's just start there. Just training. I feel like once you get trained properly, you know what you're doing. You know, because like that first one I had, I was very sure of what I was doing, kinda, till he started acting like that. But because I had been through training, I knew what I was supposed to do. Once you're comfortable doing it, it's gonna come easy for you. So I think focus on training. Once you get your training under your belt, then you structure your business and you go on out there and do it. I mean, it's nothing gonna stop you. People gonna say yes and people gonna say no.
Yeah, I almost think that some folks think notary work is so easy that anyone can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I it can be difficult. You know,
Very.
it's not always easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um Now I just did an apostille a little over a week ago now. This one wasn't a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Used did UPS, sent to UPS. Usually don't have a problem with it. Do you know it took a good 5 days to get back, and that is their priority service. Normally it's not overnight, but usually 2 days
Mm-hmm.
max. So, I was freaking out. I thought I was going to have to call you and say, hey, Can you help? I have to start this over again. So there is still some hard, difficult
Mhm,
parts to being a notary or being an apostille agent.
mhm.
It's not super easy, in my opinion.
Right. Right. I think it's not super easy for everybody because everybody doesn't have discernment. I'll say that. Not everybody has discernment. Like you need to know you're not probably an accomplice to something that's illegal. Like you need to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Don't just do it because somebody handed you a piece of paper and be like, well, all I got to do is sign it and stamp it. That it is much more to being a notary than just signing and stamping something.
I'm glad you said that because fraud is really seeming to be on the rise.
Hmm.
You come across as someone who, well, you've demonstrated you're not afraid to push back. You're not afraid to ask questions. And I think that that is a requirement
Hmm.
for all notaries to not allow yourself to be bullied. Would you
Right.
agree?
I totally agree. That's a requirement for me anytime I do any appointment. I don't care if it's a handwritten letter that you saying you paid $400 to your cousin, sister, auntie, baby mama. I don't care. We're going to talk about this. Did you write this? Did you read this? Why are you writing this? I want to make sure because just in case we land in court, I need to be able to honestly swear before God under oath that, hey, I talked to this person. This is what they said. And I was very comfortable with what happened. That's what I want to make sure of.
Yeah.
So you're right, that conversation is very important, especially when you're handling certain documents. When we get into our living wills, when we get into our power of attorneys, I make everybody leave the room. I had one Saturday, and she's like, "We everybody has to leave. Everybody, if you're not the one, the affiant on this document, get out. Everybody has to leave. I want to talk to this 80-some-year-old lady. I want to know that she's in her right mind. I want to know that she read this thoroughly and she knows who she's giving power to and what kind of power she's giving. That's what I want to make sure of. So I have that conversation. I don't care who like it or not. You want this notarized or not?
So you're not a point and sign notary.
No, I am not. I
Yeah.
am not.
Hey, as you know, Alabama has remote ink notarization
Hmm.
currently, and I know you know about how eventually, I believe, Alabama
Yeah.
notaries will be able to do remote online notarizations. What are your plans if Alabama approves Ron for you and I, or for Alabama notaries? Is that something you're interested in, or you're going to take a pass on?
Right now, I have to say I am anti-run. I am anti-run. I just don't feel like the fraud risk is worth it.
Mm.
I mean, when you look at this AI technology, these advancements, people can take your image and make words come out of your mouth that you didn't even say. So I'm anti-run. I just
Okay.
right now, I don't think I would mess with it, especially when it comes to mortgage documents or like I just said, power of attorneys and wills. I would not be comfortable doing that online. So
I appreciate that. And I think it's wise to ask questions, and it's wise for you to be not all totally all in right away.
right,
Um, as a notary instructor, I will probably, well, I do the REN now.
right.
And every time I do one, though, Tomica, I don't take it lightly.
Hmm.
Um, all of your concerns are my concerns as well.
Hmm.
And so, again, I don't think you're overreacting with your fears or concerns about Ron. I think whoever decides to go forward with Ron, go slowly, be
Right,
very careful,
right.
increase your E&O insurance.
Definitely.
Um, get
Definitely.
and back to the point about just being very alert
Hmm.
to anything out of the ordinary. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see
Yeah.
when it happens, if it happens. But apparently, in these other states, it seems to be going okay. Now, there has been some fraud, but
Mhm.
it seems to be moving forward.
Mhm.
Tomica, can you think of anything else that you may want to share with us about your journey as a notary? I know you've helped some other notaries in your area who have had questions. So, anything else you'd like to go out to those viewing the video?
For anybody in my local area, don't be afraid to reach out. I've had people reach out. I've met them over at the local Starbucks, done one-on-ones, mock interviews, when they've gotten hung up, and I've had them FaceTime me during appointments and say, "Hey, I'm stuck. What do I do?" And I don't mind helping. Because if anything, I want to make sure everybody's protected, everybody's doing everything they need to do. So if it takes for you to call me, I don't mind. But don't call me on Facebook because I missed it out every time. One time I looked in there and it was a girl. She called me like 8 times. I was like, who is this person? Just call my cell phone number. I usually put it in the chat at some point when I'm talking to people. But just call me. I'm willing to help. I mean, whatever we need to do to keep everybody safe.
Well, Tamika, again, thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me.
You're welcome.
Thank
And wait,
you.
wait, wait. And one thing I want to do,
Hmm.
like we got to give Michelle her flowers. We got to.
Aw.
Michelle, you go above and beyond. And I know myself personally, you have helped me when I've been in a rut, when I've been legally looking at something like, hey, this that don't seem right. What do I do? So thank you so much for going out of your way to keep us educated, to keep us on point with what's happening as far as the legal system. Just thank you so much for being open, honest with everything, even when we don't like your answers. But thank you for being there for us at all times.
That means a lot to me, Tamika. That's really nice of you. You know, I enjoy what I do. Alabama is blessed to have all of us. You know,
Mhm.
Alabama has a great group of notaries. So thank you for my flowers.
You're
Thank you for speaking with me today. And I wish you all the best
Thank
to
you.
you and your family. And I'll see you back in the Hangout group.
All righty.
That was Mrs. Tomica Harris from Montgomery County, Alabama. I hope you found her answers, her comments helpful, and possibly answered some questions that you have as a new and aspiring notary public. If you have any questions about what Tomica and I talked about, please mention them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer you. And if you aren't a subscriber to the YouTube channel yet, I want to invite you to take that step to subscribe and share. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. So long.